We are going off script today, vibing out on this Sunday afternoon. We're gonna make some foie gras. Welcome back to Bourdain.
Everybody should know how to use a knife.
Use everything, waste nothing.
Let's start at the beginning. It ain't that hard, okay?
Hope you're doing good. My name is Mitch May. We're learning how to cook with Anthony Bourdain's cookbook, Foie Gras. If you are not familiar with foie gras, it is a fatty duck liver. It dates back way back into even Egyptian times, where ducks or waterfowl in this instance would fatten up and get ready to migrate. People hunted them and they found their liver was extremely fatty, delicious, buttery, unctuous, and now we imitate that. Now I do probably have to talk ethics. Just a little bit. This channel is never going to be sponsored by PETA, and this series in particular is to honor the life and work of Anthony Bourdain. If you're interested in the ethics or you're just curious about foie gras in general, the website I linked down below in the description objectively states the facts. We're going to sear this duck liver. My back is very uncomfortable right now because I am positioned all strange. We're gonna get moving. So before we break out the sexy foie gras, we're gonna need 8 prunes. They go in a vessel with 1 cup of port wine, which is just a fortified Portuguese wine. Portuguese. These are gonna soak for at least 2 hours. Then we break out our expensive fatty duck liver. This is 2.5 ounces combined. Now a note, Bourdain does call for this sliced into 4 slices. I think that would be very hard to accomplish. So I just had 2 slices here, each equaling about 1 ounce. So it worked out nicely. I figured to get an even sear, I slice off a very thin layer just to get a flat surface. Brioche buns. Now, I don't think this is essential, but Bourdain recommends it, and I have to agree with him. Trader Joe's only had hamburger buns, so I slice them down the middle and try to get flat surfaces and slice them into triangles, so this can soak up all the beautiful foie gras sauce that'll be left. Heavy cast iron pan goes on high heat. Season the foie gras. I'm realizing now there is a face in that foie gras, and that is freaking me out a bit. The pan looks hot enough for me. Foie gras goes in. First time, I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie. As Bourdain describes, upon hitting the pan, this thing melts and kicks out a lot of fat. 45 seconds per side. At 20 seconds, I should have pulled it, but I waited till 45 and I freaking burned it. Not terribly, but that's still something I'd rather do to spam rather than a $20 piece of duck liver. I go about 20 seconds on the other side to ensure not blackening it like the other one. The smoke detector then voices his opinion. I pull both pieces out before we get any further melting going on. It's funny, seeing me right there toss that pan, that is Mitch frustrated. We then take our port that's been soaking the cherries for 2 hours. After removing half of the duck fat, we add all of the prunes and a little bit of the port wine to deglaze the pan. Back on the heat, and I decided to add even a little more port just to get more of a tart flavor to contrast. When I'm happy with the reduction, I take it off the heat and plate this thing. I pick the piece of foie gras that looked the best, drizzle with our reduced port mixture, and then I took some flaky salt because that just looks good. Pretty elegant looking, pretty sexy, couldn't find much in the way of plating. I didn't know what to expect, and I was actually a little underwhelmed by the flavor. It was fatty, yes, it was creamy, yes, but the overarching flavor was really just fat. I found myself craving almost more of a liver flavor or livery note to this. Here's a little view of what's going on inside. It's kind of pudding-y, it's hard to describe. And you know, I think at the end of the day, I still struggled with the ethics of what foie gras is and if it's really worth the money. But I'm glad I tried it. Would I get it again? Maybe, especially at a restaurant, much like the snails I made. I'd like to see how they prepare it. And we're on to our next dish. Thanks for spending your time with me. This was Back to Bourdain.